My name is Gilbert Ouma from the Department of Earth and Climate Sciences, University of Nairobi. We are trying to introduce a new project which is looking at climate extremes, that is droughts and floods, and how they impact the communities, and if we can be able to put in measures that would be able to mitigate the impacts to make them a little less serious, a little less dangerous. It's a project that we are doing in two counties in Kenya, one in Turkana, and the other county is Kitui County. In Turkana, we are going to work in two sub-counties, Central and Turkana West. And we want to see how the climate impacts different people, different types of people, males, females, the youth, and then see if we can be able to reach all these people in a good time so that they do not suffer. We are currently meeting with the communities led by the chiefs, and we also have with us the Deputy County Commissioner in charge of Turkana Central. We are having a similar activity happening in Kakuma now that is also meeting with the people. The research is looking at people who are very vulnerable, people who are in the margins. And in Kenya, vulnerability sometimes is linked towards geographic locations. Kitui is a semi-arid county. They are quite vulnerable to climate change. And Turkana is an arid county. So they are very vulnerable to climate change. So if we want to look at people who are really vulnerable, we thought we should try with Turkana and Kitui.
To add that, when you look at the actual life supporting resources and structures and the systems, this basically arid county. This is livestock, and also look at the environment, vegetation, which actually supports should support livestock in terms of food and pasture. Then you see such a big contrast. Kitui you can have, can actually be areas which are like grasslands. Here it is more as just shrubs. When you look at food production, Kitui there is both crop growing and also pasture and for livestock. Yeah, mainly it is livestock, and therefore the two give us a good opportunity to research carefully on these systems so that when we are proposing policies which enhance planning and reducing the impacts, then these two counties, drought is actually common across, but the systems, lab structure support systems are really exactly the opposite of each other. But so it's really a challenge to us, but we are working very hard on it so that we can be able to give good information which can lead and guide developments. Generally, once we have increased the level of knowledge on the drivers of the streams, then in this information, we hope that we can be able to have, with the good advanced time, lead times as to when droughts occur, and also if there is going to be like severe storms like we had here in actually during April, we can know this information well in advance within times of maybe months or weeks or something like this. Then these actually translate into those actions which actually become routine operations of the county government or disaster risk reduction agencies of the government at all levels, all the way to what communities should do to cushion themselves with the support of the governance structure. So this information becomes very, very important in running our socio-economic welfare in both counties. I'm a very happy man because the project is taking place in my sub-county, Turkana Central, and this is the first meeting, I think, and the idea of calling our people is partly part of public participation to ensure that this project is welcomed in our community. These are the people who will be moving around. They will be assisting those researchers in identifying those issues which are becoming issues of climate change. And the whole issue is social science and physical science. What you can see, what the livelihoods our people are going through are affecting the climate change. For example, the issue of charcoal burning is these people are doing that because they want to live. But in the other way, they are destroying the environment and becoming an issue, public issue, and that is why this research is coming in handy. And I want to believe when they eventually come up with a product out of their research, it will assist us to make decision. What can we do? Which organization can we engage? Which partner can we engage so that we rightfully get the facts right? Because that is what I said. Climate change is an issue, and we know with our people. That is why I have my chiefs, I have some elders, I have some religious leaders with us, and they will take this information back to the community. And as soon as we get out of this meeting, I know this message will go back to our people. Of course, one critical part of the research is actually to have input of the communities in terms of the required data sets and actually getting field measurements. That is very, very important. That is now starting to happen. So during this particular visit, we will be installing some equipment, just very small gadgets like sensors, which will enable us to measure, field variables like temperature, like humidity. That data will compile it for approximately the whole time of the project we are running, and then of course we know and we are aware of the work which the government agencies are doing here. For example, the med services, they have a station here. So collaborating with this, so number one is to increase the data coverage, the density, so that we can be able to work on the drivers of the why it is raining more in the central and not in the north. So getting those details will enable us then and develop actionable plans which can be adopted at all levels of governance with the clear scientific evidence that this happens here because of this, and this is how we should conduct our affairs to be able to live better and cope with these situations, and therefore reduce our exposure and vulnerability.